the complicated economic times we're living in, if I can break it down and explain it to people so they understand it and they can help make better decisions, to me, that is like the greatest win and an honor. During COVID, we spent a huge amount of time doing digital videos and on TV and doing call-in programs to try to help people understand how their stimulus checks worked, how unemployment worked, how the PPP loans worked. And sort of all the things that I've gotten to work on, in my tenure working as a journalist, I would say those were some of my greatest experiences. We did special programs sort of helping small businesses and individuals deal with complicated economic times during COVID. And it's amazing how many things at the end of the day go back to finance. And when you look at a lot of things with the current president, when you ask people, why are you voting for this person? Or what, you don't feel good about X or Y, oftentimes they say, well, it's about economics. And it's amazing because Republicans have done a brilliant job convincing the American people that they're the ones who are fiscally responsible. They're the ones who are pro-business. They're the ones who are responsible for greater, more robust economic growth. And historically speaking, that's not the case. What Republicans are doing, are good at, is selling the economy. And I think that's where sometimes Democrats make a mistake, in that they're so careful in wanting to be inclusive that they don't take the victory laps when they can, right? It's sort of like, I remember in the beginning of maybe a year into Joe Biden's presidency, I remember talking to somebody in his administration and just saying like, here's 5 great economic points that you guys, have and could be shouting from rooftops. Why aren't you? And one of them was the performance of the stock market. And the person said to me like, no. Like we definitely can't say that because not everybody's invested in the stock market. We don't want to exclude people. And I remember being mystified, like, yeah, I know not everybody's invested in the stock market, A, but B, it's not just Wall Street and hedge fund managers. The majority of people that own stocks and bonds are pension funds. It's firefighters, it's nurses, it's teachers, but that's neither here nor there. If Democrats are unwilling, it's like they're unwilling to sing happy birthday unless every kid in America has a cupcake. And that is just not a practical way to win. And if you've got a strong economic story to tell, and I get it, not everyone will be included in that win. There will be people left out and frustrated. I get that. But if you don't take your wins and figure out a way how to message them and communicate that and run your victory lap, then you're not going to have any wins to celebrate.
How much do you think this is just a failure of strategy versus the thing that you initially alluded to, which is I think a lot of people, including a lot of elected officials I talk to, seem to not have basic understanding of financial literacy. And because they're so worried about getting a question that they're not going to know the answer to, they shy away from it.
Yes, and yes. I think it's both. But I think that, listen, if there's, and I'm not saying emulate it, but I'm saying acknowledge it and learn from it. President Trump has a PhD in fake it till you make it. And again, I'm not saying to emulate it, but I do believe that shamelessness is his superpower, right? And I say this as a Catholic, because Catholics are just raised on shame, where, 99% of the time we're just like too embarrassed or too ashamed to just like even put ourselves out there. But put yourself out there. And if you make a mistake, apologize for it, right? And then start over. But to shy away from talking about complicated and important things like finances and the economy is a huge mistake, because when you talk, in my opinion, to the majority of the American people, they don't care about politics. They feel like most politicians are crooked. And if they're not crooked, they're not doing anything for them, or they've given up on politics. But what they say is, I pay a lot of taxes and the government doesn't work for me. I don't like any of it. And they're very quick to equate, one party does this, well, the other party does that. None of them are any good. And if you don't cut through that and start to explain to the American people, no, this is what we're providing, this is what we're doing, and this is how the economy is better. It's not perfect, but here's what it looks like on the other side. I mean, look at the president's budget bill, right? Many of the crucially important programs that are getting cut are not going to get put into place. They're not going to kick in until after the midterms. So the majority of the American people won't even realize what's getting cut. So the Democrats have a messaging challenge right now. The Republicans are passing, we believe, what will be one of the most expensive pieces of legislation we have seen in years. So to me, they've given up their ability to claim that they're the fiscally responsible ones. They're the ones who want to go on about debt and deficits. And if Democrats cannot figure a way to message around this and educate the American people, well, then they've got a problem.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of The People's Cabinet. If you did, please like, subscribe, ring that bell, and put in the comments below who else you'd like to see sworn in. And stay tuned for new episodes every Tuesday. Let's go.